A stunning new twist in the Russia hoax investigation. A trove of government documents has been discovered inside burn bags, typically used to destroy sensitive material. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday here on Spin Room. Good to have you here with us. I'm Vanessa Broussard. Sources say the documents contain previously unreleased communications and internal memos related to the early states of the Trump-Russia hoax, some marked classified. The materials were recovered by oversight staffers conducting a routine investigation, and they're now in the hands of congressional investigators. Here's Caroline Levitt today with more.
Well, I think a major organization of the national security apparatus, at least here at the White House within the National Security Council, has indeed taken place, and the president entrusts his current CIA director, John Ratcliffe, and our ODNI director, Tulsi Gabbard, to make the necessary changes to ensure classified intelligence, especially that could implement or hurt the national security of our country, does not make its way into the hands of irresponsible actors who want to politicize that intelligence for their own end. Since you brought up the declassification report that was put out by Senator Grassley today, I'm glad you brought it up because this should be a story every outlet in this room should be covering. This is further evidence that Hillary Clinton approved the Russia hoax against President Trump. Her campaign financed it. Again, she approved it. And the FBI and the CIA were both weaponized to, as our director of CIA has said, accelerate this hoax against then candidate and former President Trump. To answer the heart of your question, the president wants to see justice served, and he trusts the Attorney General and the Department of Justice to implement that justice and hold these people accountable.
The Trump administration alleging Hillary Clinton's campaign approved a plan, as you just heard, to falsely tie Trump to Russia collusion. They say the documents are likely authentic. John Ratcliffe and Tulsi Gabbard claim to have submitted criminal referrals, that is, to the Department of Justice. And of course, we'll stay on top of the latest and bring that to you right here when new information becomes available. Now to a private health tracking system just announced yesterday by the president. Our Allison Steinberg is live in Washington, D.C., following what this means for the American people. Hi, Allison. What can you tell us?
Hi, Vanessa. Yes, sorry for all of the additional noise. We're inside because it just started pouring down rain here in the swamp, and we had to move the operation in. So there's a lot of people pressed behind us right now, waiting to go in for that executive order signing that's happening in a few moments here. We'll let you know when that starts. But yes, the new private health tracking system, I don't know, I'm not too thrilled about it. It sounds to me like it's the next piece of our digital ID matrix that we warn about often here on Lindell TV. The Trump administration announced yesterday it is launching this new program that will ultimately allow Americans to share health data and medical records across health systems and apps run by private tech companies. So Trump admin is teaming up with big tech to make this happen. They're saying this is going to make it easier to monitor records and access records and monitor your overall wellness. It looks like more than 60 companies, including companies like Google, Amazon, Apple, also CVS, and others are partnering up with the Trump admin to agree to share this patient data in their systems. The initiative sort of says it's going to focus on weight management and, diabetic-related health issues, but ultimately, the way this is going to work is you're going to be assigned a QR code. That is how you will access this information, and then all of these companies together collectively will, work to make this information available to you on your QR code. So this might sound very convenient and helpful to some people that, rely heavily on the medical system for help, but ultimately I think this is paving the way for a very dangerous future. Again, health combined with big tech, I don't think is ever a direction that sounds promising in the long run. When you look to the Bible and Revelation 13, mark of the beast. It says you're going to have a mark on your hand or your forehead, and that's how you're going to be able to participate in society if you want to buy and sell. This sounds like, I don't know, I'm not saying this is the mark of the beast, but it definitely sounds like it is eerily close to sort of paving the way for that sort of beast-like system in the future. So that's what concerns me about it.
Paper, you know, you go into a doctor's office and you fill out these forms, and sometimes when you go to your same doctor, I've had to do this, you fill out the same forms over and over again. You hand them your insurance card. They ask you, is this the same one that you've had? Has your insurance changed? No, but they still want all the information written down, and it's just a long process. So I'm thinking the pros to this is it takes away from all of that. You just have this QR code, scan it, you're good, all your information is there. Is that how I'm seeing this? Is that what you're seeing too?
That could be an upside, certainly. But then again, you know, that's how they're going to sell us the mark of the beast, is by convenience. Oh, don't worry, you don't have to have a wallet anymore. You can leave your house without anything on you. Just, you know, present this mark and you could pay for everything with your hand. I'm not saying, again, that this is that. But, yeah, maybe there are some upsides to it, and that could perhaps be one of them. I'm not sure about the exact details. But it does get me concerned when you think about, you know, most recently, even RFK Jr. talking about wearables being the way forward in the health system. This just happened a couple of weeks back. RFK saying that that wearables are going to be essential when considering health. I think we have that clip if we want to play that. Let's take a listen to this quick flashback from RFK on wearables.
Diet, about their physical activity, about the way that they live their lives. We think that wearables are a key to the MAHA agenda, making America healthy again, and we are going to, my vision is that every American is wearing a wearable within 4 years.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
So there you have RFK talking about wearables. I also want to pull up this graphic from the World Economic Forum. This is a very critical piece of information I think we all need to be aware of. It's on page 22. I'm not sure if we have the ability to go to page 22 there. I was hoping we could show this graphic, but basically there is a central hub in the middle that shows a digital identity. This is, again, World Economic Forum documents, and then off of that are little spokes. Some of these spokes like cover everything that you would need in daily life. One of them is financial services. One is food and sustainability. One is travel and mobility. One is government. One is telecommunications. One is healthcare. So, I mean, the digital identity encompassed in all of this in the World Economic Forum's own documents. They state that in the future, devices will be worn on and or embedded in the body. I wish we had this to show the audience because it clearly lays this out here in the World Economic Forum's very own documents. Devices will be embedded in the body and worn on the body to participate in society. So, you know, I know we have President Trump in office right now who I think has our best interest at heart. I'm not saying that he's, you know, trying to throw us into this terrible situation where we're stuck in this digital prison, but I am saying that this perhaps could be paving the way for a future administration to take over and then absolutely have all of the building blocks in place that would be needed to implement this type of digital ID system, which we know is ultimately the goal of these globalists and Democrats who, you know, carry out the goals of the globalists. So they have not been secretive about this in any regard. They have been quite vocal about it, and again, it's in their own document, so I encourage everyone to look at that. I also want to point out, too, that Casey Means, who was nominated for U.S. Attorney Surgeon General, U.S. Surgeon General, excuse me. She did not end up taking that position, but she is very close to the Trump administration and RFK Jr., who seems to be very instrumental in a lot of what happens in the health space, everything related to MAHA. And she owns a wearables company that is called Levels. Levels. This is a wearables company that tracks and monitors your health levels, your wellness levels, glucose monitoring and whatnot. So, you know, this is someone who's very influential to the MAHA team, and that does concern me because, again, this seemingly links to me directly into what the globalist state at the World Economic Forum, everything having to do with the digital identity, this seems to all sort of fall into place very nicely with all things considered there.
QR code. I'm a big fan of QR codes. They're very convenient, but I can tell you right now, I am not implanting anything into my body. It's not happening.
No, absolutely not. I will not either, and that's where I'm going to have to draw the line. Yeah, I won't be participating in any beast system. So just something to be aware of, as we encroach upon this age of technology and ever evolving, technology integrated into healthcare and whatnot. I just think it's something to be aware of. So there is that. And on a good health-related news front, President Trump today had a letter for Caroline Leavitt that she read during today's briefing. This has to do with really holding accountable the drug companies who have raked up prices for average American citizens. As we know, the cost of these drugs is just skyrocketed. He's now holding them accountable and saying that this will no longer be acceptable. In fact, Caroline Leavitt read a letter from him today in the briefing. I think we have that clip. It's a little on the long side, so if we want to cut out of it early, feel free, but take a listen to this letter that was read today by Caroline Leavitt from President Trump to the pharmaceutical companies.
According to recent data, the prices that Americans have been paying for brand name drugs are more than 3 times the price other similarly developed nations pay. The president is determined to solve this problem and took further action today. He has signed 17 letters to pharmaceutical companies' CEOs, and I would like to read you one of these letters to the CEO of Eli Lilly. All of these letters will be provided to you following this briefing. This is to the CEO of Eli Lilly from the President of the United States. On May 12, 2025, I signed an executive order delivering most favored nation prescription drug pricing to American patients to stop global freeloading and guarantee that Americans pay the same prices enjoyed by other developed nations. Right now, brand name drugs in the United States are up to 3 times higher on average than anywhere else for the identical medicines. This unacceptable burden on hardworking American families ends with my administration. Most proposals the Trump administration has received to resolve this critical issue promised more of the same, shifting blame and requesting policy changes that would result in billions of dollars in handouts to industry. Moving forward, the only thing I will accept from drug manufacturers is a commitment that provides American families immediate relief from the vastly inflated drug prices and an end to the free ride of American innovation by European and other developed nations. Accordingly, I'm calling on Eli Lilly and Company and every manufacturer doing business in our great country to take the following actions within the next 60 days. Extend the most favored nation pricing to Medicaid, guarantee most favored nation pricing for newly launched drugs, return increased revenues abroad to American patients and taxpayers, provide for direct purchasing at most favored nation pricing. The President's team, including Secretary Kennedy and Administrator Oz, stand ready to implement these terms. The President expects to further engage with them immediately in good faith to deliver relief for American families. Make no mistake, a collaborative effort towards achieving global pricing parity would be the most effective path for companies, the government, and American patients. But if you refuse to step up, we will deploy every tool in our arsenal to protect American families from continued abusive drug pricing practices. Americans.
So there you have it. President Trump is drawing the line here with these drug companies. That letter was to the CEOs of Eli Lilly, as well as all of the 17 other CEOs of the major pharmaceutical companies. President Trump said if these companies refuse to step up, he will deploy every tool in his arsenal to protect American families from abusive drug pricing practices, and this commitment is needed by them by September 29th of this year. So we'll see if they step up and do what Trump is calling on them to do.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, let's see, because it's a big fight with big corporations like that, and President Trump is stepping up to the plate on behalf of the American people. Allison, thank you so much. I know we are awaiting President Trump to sign that executive order. We saw that a lot of the media went into the room behind you during your report, so we'll wait on that from President Trump. Thanks so much for your report today.
Thanks so much, Vanessa.
And as soon as we get that executive order signing going on any minute now, we will bring that to you. It should be starting just momentarily. And that will come to you live right here on Spin Room. President Trump has been vocal on Truth Social. Let's go through a list of what he's been saying, always vocal there. The first, dealing with Korea, he says this: I am pleased to announce that the United States of America has agreed to a full and complete trade deal with the Republic of Korea. The deal, he says, is that South Korea will give to the United States $350 billion for investments owned and controlled by the United States and selected by myself as president. Additionally, South Korea will purchase $100 billion of LNG or other energy products, and further, South Korea has agreed to invest a large sum of money for their investment purposes. This sum will be announced within the next 2 weeks when the president of South Korea comes to the White House for a bilateral meeting. I would also like to congratulate the new president on his electoral success. It is also agreed that South Korea will be completely open to trade with the United States and that they will accept American product, including cars and trucks, agriculture that is, and more. We have agreed to a tariff for South Korea of 15%. America will not be charged a tariff. I would like to thank the trade representatives who came forward today, he says. It was an honor to meet them and talk about the great success of their country. Great post there, great success there. His next post says this: I don't care what India does with Russia. They can take their dead economies down together. For all I care. We have done very little business with India. Their tariffs are too high, among the highest in the world. Likewise, Russia and the USA do almost no business together. The failed former president of Russia, who thinks he's still president, to watch his words. He's entering very dangerous territory, he says. With that, let's go live to the White House, where President Trump has just entered the room where he will be signing an executive order. Here's President Trump live.
LT, greatest ever. Lawrence Taylor. You look good. You could play right now, I think, LT. You only look that way. Well, I'm delighted to be here with some of the truly great sports legends of all time as we formally announce the newest members of the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition. This is an important step in our mission to make America healthy again. It's something that's very important, what we're doing, very important. Dating back to the administration of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, this council has championed the vigor and strength and vitality of the American people. Today, we continue that very proud tradition. This group is led by two-time major champion and one of the greatest players in the world, one of the highest ranked, and he just had a phenomenal Open Championship, as you probably saw, shooting one round that wasn't so good, and then he came back with about a 65 or something. He was getting a birdie on every hole. They were worried he might not make the cut, and he made the cut by about 200 strokes. It was pretty amazing, and he had a great week, actually. And he's also the longest hitter of a golf ball, I think ever, but, you know, they say ever. I would say ever. And the longest in the world today, and it's Bryson DeChambeau. He's a great guy, been my friend for a long time. And from his storied amateur career, where he won the U.S. Amateur, I think once or twice. Did you win it?
It was once, and then the
Once?
NCAAs as well.
Okay, you won a lot of other championships, but U.S. Amateur champion. And then, as you know, he won at Winged Foot, won the U.S. Open and Pinehurst. And Bryson has always been a phenomenal ambassador to sports and to golf, but generally to life, in my opinion. He's a smart guy and a good guy, great guy, loves our country. We're also pleased to be joined by Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. Bobby, you do a great job. He's got some big things happening, and he's got some big statements to be made very shortly in terms of, over the next few months, in terms of what they've been doing and finding answers to some very, very important questions. Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, who's phenomenal, wherever you may be, Linda. Hi, Linda. What are you doing back there? And look, you've been reading about her exploits and the job that she's been doing, and we're very proud of her. Council Executive Director, Catherine Granito, thank you very much. Thank you, great job. And several other new members of the council, including JD is here, our fantastic vice president, and Scott Bessent, and we're making a lot of deals. We're making deals for trillions and trillions. Nobody's ever seen anything quite like it. We just made a couple of others a little while ago. I don't know if you'd be interested right now. I won't even bother telling you. This is about sports and about health. One of the best defensive players ever, I think probably acknowledged to be the greatest defensive player in the history of the NFL, a friend of mine for a long time. Too long, right, Lawrence? Lawrence Taylor, he's an incredible guy. And just been my friend a long time, haven't we? Huh? Knew him forever. One of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, a young guy still. He can kick it long. I think I guess he's considered the best there is in the business, Harrison Butker. So, Harrison, where are you, Harrison? He's a handsome guy, by the way. It's usually not my thing, but he is a good-looking sucker. One of the truly greatest golfers ever to play on the LPGA Tour. A lot of people say the greatest female player ever, and a lot of people would say just one of the best players ever. She's phenomenal. I've played a lot of golf with Annika Sorenstam, and she's amazing. Just had an really storied career. Hall of Famer, easily a Hall of Famer, by the way, right at the top of the list. So it's great to have you with us, Annika, and say hello to the family. And then she was here not so long ago with Gary Player, where she got the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and so did he. He's won 168 tournaments and 18 majors, 9-9, and she's the same in terms of the women's game. But that was a great time. It was a great honor to give it to you. You really deserved it. It's the highest medal you can get outside of the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's the military version, and the other is the Presidential Medal, and you got it. So thank you very much. 14-time WWE World Champion, and he's a man who you're not going to mess around with. Even Bryson said, I think I'll take a pass on him, right? You're going to take. And he's another one that's been my friend for a long time. He's really an amazing athlete, Triple H. Triple H, there he is. Oh, that's still very strong. He's a strong guy. And it's great to have you. And you felt very strongly about this, about the council. 100%. Yep. Well, it's a great honor to have you. Offensive lineman, NFL, very respected, very smart, Cody Campbell. Thank you, Cody, very much. Thank you very much. In addition to the people here, we have other council members that want to just pay their respects. One of the greatest players and athletes ever. You could say, when you look at records, there's probably nothing like it. Tiger and Jack. This is Jack. Tiger was here not so long ago getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom also. He's a fantastic guy. And on the council, we have Jack Nicklaus, and he sends his regards. We have Gary Player, one of the greats, Nellie Corder, who's a phenomenal young, I think you'd say great young player, Annika, right? She's a fantastic person, too. NFL icons, Tony Romo, also a great football player, quarterback, also a great golfer. Nick Bosa, who's, you know him, he's a modern-day version of Lawrence. What do you think? He's pretty good, right, Lawrence? Pretty good. He is. Saquon Barkley was on the council, and Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback, who is really, he's been fantastic. He's been, when he's not injured, he's great. He's got to stay healthy, but he's a great guy. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is on the commission. NFL Commissioner Gary Bettman, and the great one, Wayne Gretzky, is on, and a man who also received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, Mariano Rivera. And when I looked at his record, it was unbelievable. The Sandman, my wife said, why do they keep playing the Sandman when he walks in? And I said, because he just puts the batter to sleep. He was great. When you look at his record compared to second, and Raleigh Fingers was great, and he was really great. But when you look at the record, boy, Mariano had a record. I've never seen anything like it. He was so high up. The order that I'll sign today in a few moments directs the Council to develop strategies to improve America's physical fitness and renew the American spirit, excellence, competitiveness, and sportsmanship. To that end, I'm pleased to announce that we're officially restoring the Presidential Fitness Test and the Presidential Fitness Award, and it's going to be a very big thing. From the late 1950s until the 2013, graduate scholars all across our country competed against each other in the Presidential Fitness Test, and it was a big deal. This was a wonderful tradition, and we're bringing it back. I think Bryson and everybody here wanted to see if we could bring that back, and it's turned out to be very popular to do. My administration's also pressing forward with the important reforms in sports and athletics, and the group behind me and the others that I mentioned and others that I've asked to join. We have many great athletes I've asked to join the council, and we're going to let some of them come in. But they're going to also be working on college football in terms of what happened. It's a mess. What happened? It's what they're doing with college football, and the fans are upset about it, and players are being taken from team after team and being traded around like playing cards, and a lot of money's passing, and nobody knows what's happening. So these people behind me are going to be very much involved in figuring that whole thing out and working on it and trying to bring some sanity to that incredible, not only the football, college sports, very, very bad for women. Very bad what's happening, because now all of a sudden there's no women that are able to get the money that they're talking about. You know, it seems to be going mostly to football, some basketball, and women's sports are being totally decimated. We know that, Annika, you know, with this. It's all going into football, and some to basketball, and everything else is being left behind. And women are being left behind, and lesser sports are being left behind, and the Olympics is being decimated because that was like training for the Olympics, and now we're not going to have that many of those sports left. The smaller sports, they're almost going to be completely wiped out. This is crazy what's going on. We banned men from competing in women's sports, and last week the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee announced that they will be complying with that order, so there won't be men playing in women's sports. That seemed like an easy one. They say it's an 80-20 issue during the campaign. I said, no, that's not 80-20. That's 97-3. Maybe it's 98-2, perhaps. And last Thursday, we terminated third-party pay-for-play schemes in collegiate athletics and effectively saving. We saved college sports, but now we have to make it. We have to heal it, because it's really a mess. It's a real mess. This council will play an important role in shaping these new policies and ensuring that we preserve the American athletic tradition for many generations to come. And in the years ahead, we'll have the chance to showcase our nation's athletic dominance in the world stage as we host the America 250. So we have America 250, and we have, it's going to be incredible, the Patriot Games. But we have the Ryder Cup, we have the President's Cup, we have the 2026 FIFA World Cup. So we have the World Cup here, we have the 2028 Olympics. So when they cheated on the election and they picked somebody that wasn't supposed to be there, I was very upset before that, because I got the Olympics and I got the World Cup. I was the one that did it. I can't say I got America 250. It just happened to be 200. I'd like to take credit for that, but I don't think I'll be able to. But we have a big thing coming up. But I was very upset because I got them, and it was skipped an election season. And so it took place in the next term, after the term that we were supposed to have. And I was extremely angry. And then when I won, I said, wait a minute, I think I just picked up the Olympics and I just picked up the World Cup. So it worked out sort of cool. But I want to again, thank everybody in the council. They want to work, too. These are people that really, we only do it by request. And people, they want to work and they want to make things better. And I hope they can make college sports better. They can heal it. They can find a solution. It's not going to be that easy. But you have a lot of smart people. So I'd like to begin by introducing Bryson to say a few words. And then we'll have Triple H, and we'll have a couple of other people say something. And then I'm going to sign that good-looking couple of pieces of paper. and it means a lot. It's going to be a very important council, and thank you all for being here. Bryson, please.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. And first off, I'd like to say thank you to President Trump and Vice President Vance for your support and this initiative and council. And to be honest, I never would have thought that this opportunity would have been here right at our doorstep. We have an opportunity at being the 70th anniversary of the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition to literally change the fabric of kids' lives. And our first initiative is to bring back and reignite the President's Fitness Test, and then also reestablish some key other metrics on guidelines around building some communities, and also, again, with the President's initiatives around college, we think we can help in that regard too. But we've got a great established council with us that we believe we can change the fabric of our communities and kids' livelihoods for the future generations that are to come. I can't thank you guys enough, and looking forward to making massive changes in kids' lives and in our America's future. Thank you.
Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to say the same. Thank you to President Trump. Thank you for this honor. I'm humbled by it. I'm truly honored to be on this. Vice President Vance, thank you very much. Secretary Kennedy, truly appreciate all that everybody is doing for the health and wellness of the entire country. For me, since I was 14, this has been such an important part of my life. Health, fitness, sports, nutrition, all of it. I think learning that at a young age sets you up for success in life. And without it, you're at a lesser place for it. So I look forward to the opportunity to do this. I look forward to the opportunity to help make our youth healthy, help get them engaged in sports, and let them learn what it takes to be successful in life. So thank you very much for the honor. Thank you.
Very much. Thank you. Bobby, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. In December of 1960, a month after he won the election, my uncle, who was about to be president, wrote an article for Sports Illustrated called The Soft American, and he was lamenting the fact that America had prided itself on its beef jerky toughness, and that we were losing that. We were falling behind Europeans, we were falling behind other nations, and he was signaling with that article that he was going to make physical fitness of our kids the centerpiece of his administration. And I'm so grateful to President Trump for bringing back this tradition. I was talking to Paul before we went in here. We were part of the Council on Physical Fitness when we were kids. And you had to do sit-ups, you had to do pull-ups, you had to do shuttle runs, you had to do 1-mile runs. And they awarded the top 15% with a patch and with recognition and with certificates. And for me, it was a huge item of pride when I was growing up. And we need to reinstill that spirit of competition and that spirit and that commitment to nutrition and physical fitness. And I'm so grateful to President Trump for your leadership in bringing this back for our country.
Thank you very much. Anna, representing the great women in sports, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President, Vice President Vance. This is truly an honor. I want to thank the team behind me here for giving us trust to be able to do this. Sport has always been part of my life, and the importance of living a healthy, active lifestyle cannot be any more important than nowadays. So thank you for the trust, and I can't wait to get to work to make a difference in kids' lives, but also in people's lives. I think the time is so important. Obesity is the highest it's ever been. Mental health, as we all know, the need ought to be tackled. So thank you for the trust, and look forward to going to work with the team behind me. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Lawrence, you want to say a few words? Come on up. Come on. He's a little shy, but once he gets going, nobody can stop.
Oh, no, that don't stop. I'm just proud to be on this team. I don't know why. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing, but I'm here to serve, and I'm here to serve you. Okay, so I'm going to do the best I can for as long as I can. Thank you very much.
Nobody like him. Come on, young superstar.
Obviously, very excited to be here. Thank you, Mr. President, for allowing me to serve on the council. Just excited to do my part to help make America healthy again, to help our youth be healthy and thrive and grow up and be great citizens of this country and be great family members and contribute to this great country. And I think you have to be strong in mind, in body, and soul. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. JD?
Okay, sure, sir. Well, thank you all, and thanks to the president for setting up this important commission. Thanks to all the great athletes for lending their credibility to it. I think all of us who have young kids at home just know that kids are healthier, they're happier, they do better when they're out there, they're being active, they're playing in sports, they're hanging out with their friends. I think all of us have thought at one point in the last few years that kids spend a little too much time on their phones, maybe a little bit too much time in front of the TV, and we just want kids to do better. We want them to be healthier, we want them to be happier, and we know that getting out there, playing in sports, and being active and healthy and physically fit is a critical part of this. So all due credit to the President and Secretary Kennedy's leadership. This is all about just making our kids better citizens, better people, and happier in their daily lives. And I think this is a great team to get it accomplished. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's sign this. Linda, come on. Let's sign this. Belinda. She's doing pretty well, right? Huh? That is amazing. Good job. Okay, we got it. I think we're good. Okay. We'll pass them around, please. Okay, you good? Okay. That is not signed with an auto pen. There's no auto pen. We don't want auto pens in the White House. Okay? Any questions, please? About, I think probably about this.
What has sports meant to you? And did you have a sports hero growing up?
Maybe Lawrence Taylor. I don't know. It could be Lawrence. Or I know him so well. Well, a lot of sports heroes. I have. It meant a lot. I was always a person that loved playing sports. I was good at sports. When you were really focused on sports, you thought about nothing else. There was nothing else outside. It kept you. And to an extent, this is one of the reasons I like golf. You get away for a couple of hours. I play quickly and get through it. And for 2 hours, you're not thinking about all of the nonsense and all of the important things, frankly, but it cleans your mind. No, I think sports is so important. I think what this council is doing is going to be very important. And it gives you a little exercise, sometimes a lot of exercise. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. Sports are, you learn about people and you learn about how people compete. Now, it doesn't mean that if somebody's not a good athlete, a lot of people just are not good athletes, so they can't compete. But you learn about people playing sports and playing sports with and against some. So I've always loved it. It's been very important to me. These people are, inspirations. These are the top people in their individual sports. The council itself, I mean, they have some of the greatest champions, for the most part, the greatest champions in their sport. So they really understand sports, and understanding it's very important. Thank you for the question. Yeah, please. Please, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. President, can you talk about your plans for the new ballroom that was announced today?
Yeah.
The $200 million, that's going to be paid for by yourself?
By me, yeah.
Private donations?
It's a private thing. Yeah, I'll do it, and we'll probably have some donors or whatever, but it's about $200 million. So we've been planning it for a long time. They've wanted a ballroom at the White House for more than 150 years, but there's never been a president that was good at ballrooms. I'm really good. In fact, I looked at one that we just built in Turnberry in Scotland, and it's incredible. We're good at building. I'm good at building things, and we'll get it built quickly and on time. It'll be beautiful, top of the line. We've retained the best architects and engineers, everything else. It'll be built over on the east side, and it will be beautiful. It'll be views of the Washington Monument. It won't interfere with the current building. It'll be near it, but not touching it. and pays total respect to the existing building, which I'm the biggest fan of. It's my favorite. It's my favorite place. I love it. But they've wanted it, and you know, when they have big events, you entertain the president of China or the president of any place, and you have big crowds. They've always had to get a tent, and you've probably been to some of them, Bobby. When it rains, it's a disaster, and the tent's 100 yards. That's more than a football field away from the main entrance, and people are schlopping down to the tent. It's not a pretty sight. The women with their lovely evening gowns, all of their hair all done, and they're a mess by the time they get. And they've always wanted to have it. And I said, you know, in the first term, I said, you know, if I get another shot at this, I'm going to do a ballroom. I was pretty busy in the first because I was running the country, and I was also fighting for survival with all of the lunatics I had to beat. But it worked out, obviously, it worked out very well because here we are. But I always said I was going to do something about the ballroom because they should have one. So we'll be leaving it. It'll be a great legacy project, and I think it'll be special. You saw some renderings of the initial. I think it'll be really beautiful. No government dollars, no.
Trade, Russia, Gaza, but also the family of Virginia Giuffre released a statement overnight in response to some of the comments that you made this week. You said that Jeffrey Epstein stole people from Mar-a-Lago. At the time, did you know why he was taking those young women, including Virginia?
No, I didn't know. I mean, I would figure it was ABC fake news that would ask that question, one of the worst. But no, I don't know really why. But I said if he's taken anybody from Mar-a-Lago, he's hiring or whatever he's doing. I didn't like it, and we threw him out. We said we don't want him, you know, at the place. This is a story that's been known for many years, as you know. But it's, I didn't like it that he was doing that. Yeah, please. Say it again.
If Canada moves forward with recognizing the Palestinian state, is that a deal breaker?
Well, we're going to see. No, I didn't like what they said, but you know, that's their opinion. I didn't like that. Not a deal breaker, but we haven't spoken to Canada today. He's called, and we'll see. But we have made a few deals today that are excellent deals for the country. You know, we're taking in literally trillions of dollars for the country. This is making our country very rich and respected again. We have, you know, I tell these people, and I say it as much as I have to say it, but every leader is at NATO, and I was in the Middle East with the three great countries, three great leaders. Qatar, you know, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and everybody said the same thing. All of the NATO countries, essentially, they said that we were a dead country. 1 year ago, we were a dead country. Now we're the hottest country in the world. Look at you people. We're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're doing great. Yeah, do you have a...
Canada currently. What's the holdup with the negotiations with Canada?
Well, they have to pay a fair rate. That's all. It's very simple. They have been charging very, very high tariffs to our farmers, some over 200%. And they've been treating our farmers very badly. They've been treating our country very badly for years. And look, we like Canada. I love Canada. I have so many friends in Canada. But they've been very poorly led. They've been very, very poorly led. And all we want is fairness for our country. That's all. You know, they want to be under the as we call it, the Golden Dome. And I said, well, you know, you're going to have to pay for that. They want a lot of things from our country, and for years we did it. We basically protect them with our military. They spend very little money on their military, as you know. Not an acceptable amount of money. Yeah, please.
Thanks a lot, Mr. President. Your tariffs policy goes into effect tomorrow.
Yeah.
As you know, a federal appellate court today heard oral arguments about whether or not you had the authority to unilaterally impose those tariffs. I'm not going to get you to weigh in on the legal arguments, but you're weighing your decision to do that, your authority to do that, based on a 1977 law. It's never been invoked before. Why didn't you invoke this
Well, we've
law?
been winning all along, just say it.
I just want to ask you, why didn't you invoke this law in your first term? You could have taken in billions upon billions of dollars in your first term, but you waited until your second
Yeah,
term.
because in my first term, I was fighting lunatics like you who were trying to do things incorrectly and inappropriately to a president that was duly elected. And we did do certain tariffs in the first term. If you look at China, we took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. But when COVID came, the last thing I was going to do is tell France and Italy and Spain and a couple of other countries that we're going to hit you with tariffs. We had to fight the COVID situation when that came. But if you look at my first term, we took in hundreds of billions of dollars worth of tariffs, but you people didn't cover it very well. Yeah, please. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. I'm representing the foreign policy today. I'm asking you two questions on foreign policy. The first one, do you plan to re-engage diplomatically with Iran, go with direct talks with them, or are you happy with the current situation, having no deal with Iran?
Well, Iran has been acting very badly. They were decimated. Their nuclear capability, that potential, which could have happened within 3 or 4 weeks, was decimated. It's been obliterated. The Atomic Energy Commission said the place is just decimated. Now they can start again, but they'd start in different sites because they were hit. I tell you what, the job these pilots did with their B-2 bombers, those unbelievable machines, they traveled 36 hours without stop. And they hit every single target. Every bomb hit they went right down the chutes. And then, as you know, we shot 30 rockets from submarines that were hundreds of miles away, and they hit every target. So they can start again, but they haven't been saying the right thing. I will say Iran has not been saying the right thing. They have not been speaking nicely, and they should be. Yeah, please.
Mr. Roosevelt not lowering interest rates again. Many people say that he's playing politics with the futures of millions.
Well, he is. We call him Too Late. He's Too Late. It's his new nickname. He's Too Late Powell. He's a terrible Federal Reserve Chairman. Not only that, he's building a building. He's at $2.9 billion. It's actually 3.1 if you include other areas that are essentially the same thing. Way over budget, has no idea what he's doing. And I would say he's probably good at that compared to what he does with interest rates. But, you know, we have him there, and it was a mistake. I put him in, and then Biden extended him. And Biden only extended him because he knew I couldn't stand him. And that turned out to be not a good thing for Biden. Although he did lower interest rates just prior to the election, didn't work out too well for them. But he did lower them pretty substantially just prior to the election. No, he's a political hack, not very good. He's not a smart guy, Brian.
Mr. President, sports fans have been very supportive. To go back to the original names of the Cleveland Indians, the Washington Redskins.
Oh, I love that. Love the sound of that.
Well,
I do the Washington Redskins. I think they should do it. I told the mayor and I told people that they should bring back the name. If they bring back the name, you'll have a lot of excitement. And, I mean, Cleveland Indians, how about that? That was an original franchise, 1903 or something, 1906, an original, the Cleveland Indians. And what do? They changed the name from Indians. What's wrong with the word Indian? You know who is upset about it? The Indians are upset about it. They're upset about Redskins, too. So Redskins, I guess you'd say it was a little bit lesser of a case, but people want to see the Redskins, and the Indians want to see the Redskins back. No, I recommend it. I was asked that question the other day. The Washington Redskins, it's a fabled franchise. And now, I don't even know what the hell their last name is. What are they, Commanders or something? Is it Commanders? It's not a good name. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, not you. You.
Mr. President, Kamala Harris, as you know, is not running for governor of California. She's not going to do it. What do you see in her political future, sir?
Well, she can't speak. She can't talk. She can't do an interview. I thought it was a very strange campaign that we had. But, you know, I had two of them. We were up by like this massive number of points on Biden, and they said, let's change to Kamala. Nobody knew who Kamala was. Nobody knew her last name, Harris. They said, we're going to get Vice President Harris. Everyone said, who the hell is Harris? They only knew her by the first name. But no, I thought she was a terrible candidate. Look, don't forget, she didn't really get the nomination. I mean, that whole nomination was strange. She was the first one out. You know, she took a good amount of points with her when she announced, but nobody knew her. And once they got to know her, she dropped out very shortly after she started. And she started with a pretty good, you know, she was like in second or third place. But I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't call her a skilled politician. Would you?
She's also coming out with a book. Any plans to buy it?
I don't know. I think I'm going to buy it. I'd love to see it. No. I'd find it. Look, I find everything in politics interesting. I sort of enjoy politics. She wasn't a skilled person. You know, you have skilled politicians, really skilled politicians, and then you have some that aren't. And she was put in a very tough position, I think. She did have a 6-week honeymoon. They were told me, the pros said, you know what, she's going to have a 6-week. And she did. She was like untouchable in terms of everybody thought great. But she didn't do any interviews or anything, which was strange. Not even friendly interviews with friendly reporters like her right there, a really friendly reporter. And you know what happened? People said, what's wrong with her? Why isn't she doing? She made a mistake. She should have done interviews. She didn't run a great campaign, but we beat Biden, and then we had to beat, nobody's beaten two. I had to beat two. That's like Dana White, the great Dana White has a fight, and he has a fighter that's getting the hell knocked out of him. They say, well, let's take him out and put somebody else in. Didn't seem fair to me at the time, but where are we? We're in the White House. So, I mean, you know, so it worked out.
If I may, sir, a very serious question here. Russia today hit Kyiv with missiles and drones, more than 100 people killed.
I think it's Russia, I think it's disgusting what they're doing. I think it's disgusting. This is Biden's war. It's not my war. But I said if I get in, I'll try and get the thing stopped. But I think what Russia's doing is very sad. A lot of Russians are dying. You have a lot of Russians. More Russians are dying. But Russians are dying. Ukrainians are dying. You know, the United States isn't really involved in that war. It shouldn't be. And by the way, I made a deal with NATO where NATO pays us for everything that we send. We send them ammunition, missiles, etc. And we're not paying anything for that war. But I will tell you this, it should be stopped. It's a disgrace. And the ones that are dying are they're losing 7,000 now. It was 5,000. They're losing now 7,000 soldiers a week, Ukrainian soldiers and Russian soldiers. And they're also losing people now in the towns and cities because Putin's hitting them with rockets. No, I think it's disgraceful. Yeah, we have about 8 days. Yeah, we're going to put sanctions. I don't know that sanctions bother him. You know, they know about sanctions. I know better than anybody about sanctions and tariffs and everything else. I don't know if that has any effect, but we're going to do it. Europe is extremely upset. But this is a war that should have never happened. This is a war that wouldn't have happened if I were president. And this is Biden's war. This was a stupid war to get into. Should have never gotten into this war.
Steve Witkoff is traveling to Israel.
Yeah, going to Israel. And then he's going to Russia, believe it or not.
Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has said that what is occurring there is a genocide. Do you agree?
Oh, it's terrible what's occurring there, yeah. It's a terrible thing. People are very hungry. You know, the United States gave $60 million for food. And it's a shame because nobody, you know, I don't see the results of it. And we gave it to people that in theory are watching over it fairly closely. We wanted Israel to watch over it. Part of the problem is Hamas is taking the money and they're taking the food. But we gave $60 million a couple of weeks ago. Nobody said anything about it. Nobody said thank you. But I didn't need the thank you. I just wanted the people to get fed. And we're helping out financially with that situation. It's a terrible situation. So just to conclude, I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank you for being here. This is a great group of people, and it's a good feeling. You know, when we first came to office, this country was really in trouble. And now we're rich as hell, and we're doing amazing things. And we really are. We're the hottest country in the world, and I like that. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
President Trump wrapping up signing an executive order to require presidential fitness tests and also an award, a yearly award he'll hand out, calling it a wonderful tradition that he is bringing back. And that'll wrap it up for us here today on Spin Room. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a great exclusive interview for you tomorrow. The whistleblower and the Letitia James case, who is the Attorney General for New York. This whistleblower claiming that she and her office turned a blind eye to illegal funds that were going through a New York bank. He worked for the bank, and he tells his story tomorrow here on Spin Room. It's a Lindell TV exclusive. Don't miss it. That's coming up tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. In the meantime, Steve Bannon's War Room is next. Stay with us here on Lindell TV.
The last time President Trump was in office, gold soared 50% and silver went up a huge 53%. Americans who invested in silver and gold during Donald Trump's first presidency are very happy that they did it. And right now, gold continues to soar to the highest numbers in history. These gains are just an appetizer for what's to come. Some market analysis are saying that gold is predicted to rise another 30% in the next year alone. So now's the time to invest in gold and silver, and that's why I partnered with Fisher Liberty Gold. Fisher Liberty Gold is a conservative-owned and operated precious metals investment company. They even helped my good friend President Trump get elected through their contributions to Turning Point USA and other conservative groups. I have dedicated my life to ensuring that people get the best sleep ever. And in addition to owning a MyPillow, I can now sleep well at night knowing that you can all protect your savings with precious metals with Fisher Liberty Gold. With Fisher Liberty Gold, you can sleep well knowing that your retirement is secure. And if you call now, you're going to receive your very own presidential gold guide and qualify for up to $20,000 in free silver. But wait, there's more. Call now or text metals to 26786 to receive your presidential gold guide from Fisher Liberty. And for a limited time, I will send you a free MyPillow for qualified accounts. This presidential gold guide from Fisher Liberty will tell you exactly why you need to own gold even while Donald Trump is president. And just by calling in, you get a free MyPillow for a limited time for qualified accounts and up to $20,000 in free silver. So don't wait. Call 1-888-4GOLD-19 or text metals to 26786 today. That's 1-888-4GOLD-19 or text metals to 26786 today to receive your free MyPillow and up to $20,000 in free silver.
I'm pointing to Mike Lindell. That man suffered. That man suffered. The FBI thugs went up to him and they took away everything he had. He suffered. And Mrs. Lindell.
Then you guys come up and serve me papers in Colorado. What is this? Sir, what is this?
MyPillow guy Mike Lindell says the lawsuit is a sham.
How dare him come and sue MyPillow?
They went after him. It was just terrible. This was a vicious weaponization of your government. But he's all, I'll tell you, he stood up. He's all man. He stood up strong.
Do I think you guys and them are a traitor to our country by what you did to MyPillow? Yes. We are made in America.
Lindell says he's lost hundreds of millions of dollars.
And nothing was going to faze him. And I want to thank you on behalf of everybody. Mike, you put up with a tremendous amount.
How do you guys sleep at night? You obviously don't have a MyPillow. That's a fact.
He's a great guy.